Kız yigit xorlangan, ayak asti kılıngan, ezilgen şu halkının, kollarını süygün baminin. Her yadım asman felek, dökülgeçke kan selde. Ejderhanın aksedim, vatanımni algın baminin. Azrail Uyghur mey, vatan koldum her güçlügey. Ay yıldız ayrılım, gökyüzüne pürgün baminin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to a special episode of Talk East Turkistan. Today we're going to be talking about two very important issues. One, our reaction to the Xinjiang Police Files, as they've been named, and also Michelle Bachelet's visit to China. So I have with me some Uyghur activists, some Uyghur essentially victims of these concentration camps to get their reaction. And I'm joined with me today, Nursiman Abdurrashid, Shaida Ali, and Rizwan Nurmamet. I'd like to welcome you ladies to Talk East Turkistan. So today, we're just going to have a conversation about this. As you all know, we saw the Xinjiang Police Files go viral. For the first time, some actual faces being put to the millions that are currently suffering in the concentration camps. And I just wanted to get some of your reactions. I'm not going to call out anyone's name, just whatever comes to heart, whatever you felt when you saw those images, when you read those documents. So any of you can take it up. Take it on, yeah.
Sister Nursiman, do you want to start? Because you found your family and the list, right?
Yes, sure. When the journalists reached me out about this, and they said that they found out my whole family information by checking my brother's ID, and I was like, I don't know. I know it will not be any good news, but I felt like at least I can get some kind of information. But when the news published it, when I saw the face of the victims, and I kept crying because all of those people are from the Konshir County where I was born, where I was grown up. And I checked several hours and I found out my neighbors' pictures, and I think there is no any words to explain the pain. Like before it was just a number, now we can see the face of the victims and they're real people.
So you've mentioned that in the images you see your neighbors. Could you just go through some of these people? You knew them personally?
Yes, sure. I can share the screen, right? Share screen.
I think I'm sharing this screen. Here we go. You can see the screen?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
This is Qari Tahir. He's just several houses away from it. This is our front door neighbor. The other one. This is like our famous teacher's son, and he was so funny, and we grew up together.
Yeah.
And this is our front door neighbor, Memtaji Tursun. And he's a little bit younger than me, and we also used to play together when we was a child.
So when I mean, today we heard that China's foreign ministry saying that these documents or that these images were faked. What's your response to that?
This is a typical Chinese reaction. They said, like, whatever the world say, and they always say that this is fake. And like this girl,
Mm-hmm.
like she's the daughter of like we used to, like, they are our family friend, and like in every festivals or vacations, and they used to come to us, and at the weekend we used to play together. Like, how can it become fake? Look at her hair. Like, she used to have a long hair, and you can see she's very thin, and her hair just cut off. And this dad, like this old man, like I know him from my childhood, because his son always came to our home, because his son built our house. Like, we have very good relationship, and when I saw him, I was really shocked, because he's old enough to, like, he can't bear all of the suffering in the camps, and that mean for him, that means like that sentence. And like I can't imagine what they are going through in the camps. And like all of them are familiar face, and like we used to spend time together, and now I saw them in the camps. Yeah.
Shada, I can see tears coming out. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings on this?
It's difficult to watch this photo, and it's also very difficult to hear Nursiman's what she said. I mean, those people are her neighbors, her friends. I mean, they are a normal human being with emotions, with their own personal life, with their, I mean, beautiful, happy family. But now their faces everywhere. They're because they are a victim of a concentration camp. It's very difficult to look at those pictures. When I first saw the news, I to be honest, I tried to not look at their faces, because it will make me cry. I cannot stop it. I tried to read the report without looking at it, and it's even very difficult to read those sentences, read the lines that says, shoot to kill, the way to torture. All that, it's very difficult. And when I read that report for the first time yesterday morning, my baby was around me. She's being very fussy. I couldn't focus on her, because my mind was all about those pictures and those reports, and I had work. I couldn't focus, and it's very difficult. Over the year, I mean, over the 1 year, I mean, I've been trying to speak about my father, and I've been telling that he is not just one number. He is a person with his family, and he has loved ones, and he has lived. I mean, he deserves a good life. And I try to tell them, every one of the victims, they are a person. They're not just numbers. They have faces. They have emotions, and I try to tell people that. But now we have the pictures, and it's. I hope the world now is believing it, that now they will take actions. But it's very difficult to even process this whole report.
And what's your reaction to this, Razangu?
Yeah, I definitely share the emotional trauma that my sisters Nursiman and Shaida, and actually a lot of us, like almost all of us Uyghurs in diaspora, that we have experienced since we came to know about this report. Definitely, it is an emotion that we feel pain, literally in pain, and hopelessness. It's like, although I couldn't find my brother in the list of those Uyghur brothers and sisters that are detained, but I mean, they are my brothers and sisters. Their suffering is my brother's suffering, is my suffering. And it is really traumatizing to see these faces, I mean, this is yet another evidence of detainees and the brutal oppression and the genocide that Chinese government is waging on the Uyghurs. Like, I was trying to say that when we see that such a big amount of evidence we have been receiving, also most of them are in a written form, and this is yet the first time we have been seeing the faces and names up there, as Nursiman and Shaida said, that these are the real people. Every single of them, they have personal stories, personal life, and hopes for the future. But every single of them now, destroyed. They are languishing in Chinese camps, prisons. We don't know even if any of them are still alive, or if they have been targeted for organ harvesting. Maybe some of them are forced labor. We don't know. Their families, their life, everything has been ruined, has been destroyed deliberately by this brutal oppression. And when I say hopeless, because I feel like we are not doing enough. We are in a situation that we can't really provide any real help for them. Yes, we come here to share our perspectives of what's happening, but because we are not really doing something to stop these, releasing them, that's why I feel hopeless. But at the meantime, I also feel hope, because the evidence one after another is coming out. This gave us hope. This should give us hope, and should encourage us, motivate us to do more, to even raise our voice stronger. And I think I have seen a progress in my emotions from being sad, being grieved, but now I feel like, this is also an opportunity. You gave this evidence to the world, especially those who are still turning a blind eyes of what's happening to Uyghurs. This is a fact. And by saying that, I'm really grateful and thankful for those who have been worked tirelessly behind this, and doing this verification and everything, reporting every work. So I'm really thankful. So we still have to try even more.
I guess this is not the first time we've had a leak or a list like this, but this time obviously it's a little different. What should we expect from our leaders, from our the people that essentially run, or we expect to give us the human rights that we've been begging for? What should we expect from them now?
For me, I think this is very timely report. It just came after 2 days, visit of the Human Rights Commissioner Michelle Bechel, and this is this is very. I'm a bit curious about how this report can have a pressure on her visit, and also the outcome she would put in front of in front of us, in the world, what she would like to come out of this visit. She explicitly said that this is not about investigations, this is about promoting human rights in China. And with this report, I'm really curious, what is she thinking about it? Does this report even make any pressure on her or not? Because we have been pressurizing her, to meet Uyghurs before even go to China, but she has neglected our request. And I'm really curious to know how this report will pressurize her.
I'd like to get Nursiman or Shaida's reaction to that as well. Yeah.
Sure. So to her visit, I mean, the timing of this report is, I think, exactly after she arrived China. So I'm as Rizwanul said, I'm really curious what she's gonna do in her next step, because on the first day there is a report that she said this is not an investigation, and then the next day the report came out. So I really want to know what she's gonna do. And she said she will visit Kashgar, Urumqi, and I'm curious, is she going to ever going to visit those prisons, camps, and is she really going to hear our voice or Chinese government's voice? Because before her visit, I mean, a lot of like Uyghurs in exile, we tried to urge her to visit our family, the family members who were in the camps. And I even wrote a letter to her, asking, providing every information about my father, and said, you've been working very hard for human rights, and I hope you will be there for us. I did my best, and I'm really looking forward to hear her next step, what she's gonna do. And it's not only me, not only us here waiting for her response. The whole world is right now watching, because there is a strong evidence, their faces, and there is also victims, and everyone is waiting for her response, and we really want to know what came out of her visit.
Norsima?
Yeah, like before, we keep asking the UN to make the investigation and go to China to visit. Then all of a sudden, and like they said in May, they were going to investigate, and everyone was hopeful. And we are trying to give information about our family members who's missing since 2017. But after, in the first day of her visit, she said that it's not about investigation. And like, it's insane. Like, in the past 5 years, they didn't honor their obligation. They didn't do anything. They even didn't give any strong statement about this. And now they are visiting. And like, people like us living many years in China, like 30 years in China, we know how they prepare fake stages and how they order people to speak according to the order of the Chinese government. We know how they prepared already, but still, and I think that the UN can reject all of the leaked documents and the testimonies, and maybe like they will feel shame, and maybe this leaked document puts them pressure and they tell the truth after they came back. This is just a hope. If they don't do, if they fail this, and I think there is no any use of the United Nations Human Rights Organization. They should shut down and just disappear, because there is a strong evidence and they can reject it. If they sell like their mission to China and just bring a fake report according to the Chinese government, I think like there is no any use to be an organization in the like name it as United Nations Human Rights Organization. Like, as for me, like in the documents, and like as I said, those are the people I used to play together, and no one can reject it. No one have any strong proof to reject it. So like I was hope, and I just can say I can't say I hope. I request her to bring with a right report, not a fake one.
We have a comment here saying, why the Chinese regime is doing this to our Muslim brothers and sisters, and you will notice that in one of the reasons, the main reason why this group of people were taken in is because of religious reasons. Either they were learning Quran, or they were praying, or they had a beard, or they abstained from drinking or eating pork. What sort of message do you all have for the Muslim world or Muslim majority states?
Like when I saw the reasons, and I felt like this is a strong proof that can say China is not fighting with extremism, because this is not a crime. This is not any behavior that defined as an extremism. So when we check the reason of the people's detention, you can see that it have a family member who is detained, or have a family member with strong religious face, or like having a birth, as you said, and these are not crime in any law. And it, like when we like say like the extremist behavior in Islamic world, and this is not anything related to any kind of extremism. So this also can prove that China is just arrested millions of Uyghurs, just want to erase them, and they said, and like all of the reasons like fighting with extremism, terrorism is fake, and those people just arrested for their identity and for the simple face, like they are just want to practice Islam with a simple way, and but they are defined as the extremists.
Sisters.
Yeah. So China is trying to cover up. This is all counterterrorism effort. They're trying to re-educate, but this is not. They are targeting our whole nation, all Uyghur people and other ethnic Turkic minority. They're trying to eradicate us. They're trying to destroy everyone, every Uyghur alive who says I am Uyghur Muslim, because they're targeting. I mean, the reasons in that report is very ridiculous. A grandma, a older lady, she was in a camp because his son rejected eating pork or drinking alcohol. A little girl was taken because her parents prayed or did something, or she has relatives who was detained before. What is that? Is that it's not a crime? It's so ridiculous, and they even stated this in that report. So it's whole craziness at China. It's a terror. I think it's the most heinous crime that's been committed on the century. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's a really good question that was asked, and I would like to reiterate that what Sister Nursiman and Shaida said about the reasons of being detained. What I have seen, I can remember only a few of the reasons. Because of the time, I won't state all of them. Like one of the reasons is having beard.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the reasons that you simply have Quran app in your phone. One of the reasons, especially for a mother, one of the reasons she was detained because she has association with someone who is detained. Who is the detainee? That is her son. Why he was detained? Because he was not drinking or smoking. Okay, my question now for the audience: that do you think this is these reasons like manifestation of the extremism? And do these reasons can really made for the accusation? I don't think so. No, like having a beard, it's human rights, basic human rights. Like what we can see from here is that criminalization of general people. They are all ordinary people. They just want to have a life, but they have been detained by the false accusations that Chinese officials forced on them. We can see little teenagers as young as 15 years old. We can see mothers, fathers who are over 70. How you can categorize them or label them as an extremist or terrorist? Those reasons are ridiculous. Just like the reasons, accusations that Chinese officials, they think that make sense for them, but they are just oppressing Uyghurs in that way. And my another question for your thoughts, that when you look at the pictures, which one the showing that how the Uyghurs have been detained, when you look at them, the pictures, it's showing that they are handicapped, their hairs were shaved, and that they are blindfolded. Do you think so-called skill training, what is that called, training what is it called?
Re-education.
Re-education camp. Do you think students are, students are brought to the training centers like that? Is it a really training centers that Chinese Communist Party has been like claimed? It's not. It is a real intimidation, internment camps. So my question is that when you ask why, Chinese government is oppressing Muslims, Uyghur sisters and brothers, please look at these like evidence, and also, think about it, how it is related to your daily life. For example, if you have an app on your Quran app in your phone, imagine that could be a reason for you to be in detention in China. For example, now for us three sisters, we're all covering. If we go back to China, straight away we will be taken to prison because we are the extremists in front of the Chinese, in the eyes of the Chinese Communist Party. Not even mentioning brother Arslan Spears. Yeah. So this
Sister
is
Razangul, I understand that you have to leave, but do you have a bit of advice for our brothers and sisters on what they can do to sort of help raise awareness, or what they can do to help the Uyghurs?
For those who are especially in the US, I would strongly recommend, please reach out to your representative. What do you call it in USA? Sorry.
Your representatives.
Yeah, representative and the congressman, congresswoman. Please reach out to them. Tell them this is what's happening, and tell them what they can do. What they can do, and the forced labor legislation is going to be in implementation in the next months. So also remind them, what is the like specific steps to make this legislation will work like in real life. And last but not the least, the request is that please share this information, like any conversation about like that we are having now, like this on your social media. Join join us to raise awareness around the world. Thank you, Arslan, for
Thank you, sister. And I'll sort of, obviously we can talk more about this. I've shared all the links. Sister, you may leave. I understand that you have to go. So thank you so much for joining us. So we can basically talk about this information all day and all night. I've put the links in the description of where you can find more information about this. But just quickly, Sister Shaida and Sister Nursiman, what can people do? And what is your message to your fellow Uyghurs? Because at times we are hopeless. There are brothers and sisters who were in advocacy but have left, and who aren't still speaking up for their family because of fear or pressure. What sort of your last messages regarding this issue?
So pictures are out there. It's not only like 3 millions of Uyghurs are in the camps. There's pictures, live evidence is there. So we all looked at them, and it will stay in our mind for very long. I mean, we will not forget about it. So don't forget about them. Don't just go away. Don't just okay, this is what we have to go. I mean, don't say that. There must be something that we can do, even anonymously. I mean, we can share the message. We can raise awareness. The more people know, China, this crime will be exposed to the whole world, and then I believe there will be, more tangible actions. But everyone should know by now what's happening to Uyghurs, and they can't say that we didn't know about this. It's time to take action. Those people, they need us to stand up for them because they don't have anyone. They can't be languished in the camps. They can't be. They're not just pictures now, and we all saw them. We all looked at their eyes. I think everyone who looked at their eyes, they know their hopelessness. They know that they are waiting for people to be for them to be rescued. So I think everyone should take whatever the action they can to raise awareness and share the message, and ask their government officials to take action or sanction China. The little action counts, because if we all do it together, there will be then there will be some changes. That's my hope.
Yeah, for the following Uyghurs, and I want to say that we can't be hopeless, and I know it's very painful, and we are going through this in the past 5 and 6 years, and like I hope everyone to think, not to become so emotional, because it will kill us, and just stop and calm down and think about what we can do, because like this document leaked out and reached to us, and like there are so many suffering behind this, and we have to use this, and we have to change something. If we can't do this right now, and we don't have too much time left, because 5 years passed, maybe many of them just shot that, maybe they are just trying to escape and killed by the police, maybe some of their organs just harvested, and some of them just disappeared in forced labor factories. We don't have too much time left, and so we have to responsible for our people. We can't ask others to do something when we just wait a good days come in our sofa and just watching the news. So I encourage everyone to stand up, and if we fail to stand up today, and we don't have any future, we can't say like if we can't save the life, we can't even say that free East Turkestan, this is just a dream. And for the international world, and like in the like we keep calling them to do something to raise awareness, and I think it's a good time to spread this news, and like share the story of every single faces. And I hope everyone just read the news and share the people's story, like for example write their name and share their picture, and write the so-called crime. And I want the whole world to see the crazy reason for the innocent people's harassment. This is something we can do. It needs a lot of time. There are more than like there nearly is 3,000 people, and I hope people can spend time to do this. And and the China will do something, and they will try to this information they are trying to say this is fake news, and we have to be prepared. We have to be use the strong evidence, and tell them this is true. So I think every individual should believe their power, and they should do something, and never ask yourself like what can I do. Just try to move your finger and talk to your neighbors, or talk to your friends, and talk to your school principals at least. And if you're a university student, there's a lot of things we can do. Just believe yourself. If you need any real information, you can reach to us, and we are the real evidence. We can give you strong evidence, and we can assist you to raise awareness. And I really hope that please do not forget those are not numbers, and they are my parents, they are my brothers and sisters, and we can't fail them. And please do not forget the crying eyes of the lady you saw in the news. And this is the real life of the Uyghurs right now.
I was getting a lot of messages by trolls saying, "Oh, it's only 3,000. I thought you guys said it was million." People have to understand that these photos is from a time period of a few months in 2018 and from one county. And there are thousands of counties within East Turkestan spanning, especially if we just talk about the last 5 years, then that's where you'll get your million number. Is there anything, sisters, that you wanted to say before I close out the show? Any last words?
So I want to add one thing too. So I think to my fellow Uyghurs, I think there is a reason that we are living in the free world. that we are free right now to watching this. So I think we have an obligation to take action. No matter you can do it anonymously, or you can stand up. But there must be a reason, and we should be responsible to those people who are left in hometown, left in East Turkistan. We should be responsible. We should take actions. That's my last message.
Sister, any last words? Sister Nursima.
About for the people who confuse about the numbers, and those photos are taken in one concentration camp in Konshar County, and there are several concentration camps there. And my family are living there, and my 4 family members disappeared, but I can't find their picture there. But I found their name on the list. That means that there are many more people. You can't find their photo, even you can't find their name in the list, and you can calculate like that. Because as the brother Arslan said, there are those photos are taken in very short time period. So please, I think the Chinese propaganda are still working. People still keep asking this because it's been 5 years. We are screaming that millions are on the camps, and there are many evidence, and still people keep asking the same question. And I'm not blaming them asking, but still we didn't do enough to raise awareness. So we had to do something. Yeah, it's really painful. We are living such a world, and millions are suffering, and the other part of the world don't know anything about, even can't do anything about this, and why we are living. Yeah, it's really meaningless.
All right, Jazakallah khairan, sisters, for joining me today. The links are in the description. You can find the Xinjiang Police Files in xinjiangpolicefiles.org. Please get this message out there. Have conversations like this. And until next time, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ümit üzme aziz halkım, ümit üzme ey ana yurt. Biz atlandık bu küreşke, o yıl taştek uyuşup. Allah verse bu nusretni, bizgilerimiz sep bulur.